Hi, in this lesson we'll talk about Delta Lake features that makes it easy for you to work with files, with data files. As we spoke before, Delta Lake is an open source project that has a lot of features that makes it easy for you to work with data. One of the most obvious feature is ability to manage your data files by deleting records, updating records, and so on. But really, the main or the best feature of Delta, or one of the most strongest feature of Delta, is something called ACID transactions. ACID transactions. So people who are familiar with databases, traditional databases like MySQL, like Postgres, and so on, they know exactly what is ACID transaction. It's your ability whenever you read files or data files that you wanted to ensure your changes are ACID compliant. ACID stands for automaticity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Automaticity, consistency, isolation, and durability. What does this mean exactly for each one of them? So automaticity is your ability that whenever you make a change to a file or to a table, either these changes or set of changes, either all of them are applied or none applied at all. You don't want to be in a position where half the changes are made against the file and the other half are not made, are not, like, for whatever system failure or corrupted files, or whatever the problem is. Either all of them or nothing at all. That's automaticity. Consistency means that whenever you perform an operation against a table, you should not be in a position where this operation resulted in an inconsistent data. Like two users reading the same file, after the change, they find two different data. Like one found I don't know, like one of the employee age is 23, and now the other one found it 24 after you have made a change. That shouldn't be the case, because this is violation of the consistency of ACID transaction. An isolation meaning that changes that made by one user should not really interfere with other changes that made by another user. Like every user changes should be applied separately, so you don't have interleaving changes which lead the data to be inconsistent. Again, Delta also ensures that if there are two concurrent writes to the same table, they are perfectly fit in some way, and it does have techniques about pessimistic and optimistic concurrency and so on. Durability, the last one, is about whenever you make a changes to a table, these changes are permanent. Permanent in a sense that if there is a system failure happened after changes, your changes still be there. They can be applied from a change log or a transaction log or whatever feature that they have to support this. But this is really one of the most important feature, because consistently when data arrives to the storage, this is not a one-time event. This isn't something that happens all the time. In some system, data could arrive from the source system every 1 hour, every minute, every day. Whenever the data arrives, you wanted to merge the new data with the existing data. Imagine if you do this without ACID transaction. You will end up with all sorts of problems. You could override data without knowing. You could make the catastrophic, data changes without even knowing that you have done it, because there is no ACID transaction. You could delete data accidentally. So this is one of the most important feature of Delta, is the ability to support ACID transaction, which gives you safety against inconsistent data, against unsaved data, against user clashing rights, against all the sort of problems that would happen whenever you try to concurrently or write the data from different places at different time from different users and so on. So ACID transaction is really very important feature from Delta, and it's perfectly supported by Delta. You don't even sense how it is supported. It's behind the scene. There is no like a command that you write to enforce ACID transaction, or like something that you configure to support. This is something done at the engine level. All you need to do is just read the data, write data, delete data, update data, and Delta behind the scene will ensure that your changes are ACID compliant without even you doing anything at the UI or the command or the code level. So that's it for this lesson, and see you in the next lesson.